so the Dolphins are on the board. Look, here's another team that feels, boy, how do we not make a run? They have some things to address at quarterback, yes. They got Feely from Philadelphia along to go with Fiedler. They changed a majority of their offensive line. Clearly, other than Ricky Williams and Chambers, a couple of receivers, some offensive changes. What do we see?
With the 19th pick in the 2004 NFL Draft, acquired from the Minnesota Vikings, the Miami Dolphins select Vernon Carey, guard from the University of Miami.
All right, first question. Well, all right, we'll talk about the player first. Did they have to come up to do that? Although they need to change their offensive line. It was clearly a weakness last year.
When Sean Andrews went off the board, Vernon Carey just went up in value. In fact, the Minnesota Vikings liked Vernon Carey over Sean Andrews.
Okay.
So the Dolphins went up and had to get this guy. That was the greatest need.
The thing about Vernon Carey is more versatility. He played guard. Of course, he had the ankle injury as a senior, which hampered him. But as a junior at right tackle, and you think about McIntosh and St. Clair coming over, big question marks about right tackle. You have Wade Smith over on the left side. You have Whitley at the one guard spot. You have McKinney at center. And then you have Geno James coming over from Carolina. Good acquisition at the other guard spot. But now all of a sudden you get a right tackle in Carey, who, as I said, as a junior, MVP on the offensive side in 5 games that junior year against Florida State, Florida, Virginia Tech, and Pitt. Battle-tested against top competition. As I said, had that ankle injury. He even played left tackle, filled in for Bryant McKinney against Virginia Tech when McKinney got hurt in that game. He's played all 4 spots on the offensive line except for center. As Mort mentioned, at Miami, he'll be in that mix with McIntosh, St. Clair for that starting right tackle job in a completely restructured offensive line.
Let's look at the Dolphins and all the pressure on Dave Wanstead. That's an offense that has been under fire. We know they have A.J. Feely in a trade with the Philadelphia Eagles. They did this in the offseason. Jay Fiedler still in the competition there. But they added David Boston to the mix at wide receiver along with Chris Chambers. Now you got Ricky Williams. Now you fix this offensive line. All of a sudden, they might talk offense about the Dolphins if A.J. Fiedler or Jay Fiedler step up.
And it's a good pick for Miami. I'm a little surprised that I didn't see Dallas trying to jockey more for position and get Stephen Davis, like you said, maybe he falls. Steven Jackson, maybe he falls at Dallas, right where they sit him. But they.
You worried about the Cowboys or something?
I am. I'm already circling the Cowboys. Hey,
Listen.
I live in Dallas. I'm circling that pick right now.
It's a couple other things to remember about Miami. They acquired the troubled, and I don't know what else to say, David Boston, wide receiver who was nowhere close last year in San Diego, who's had good seasons in Arizona,
who's back
but
with Jerry
they
Sullivan.
tried him. All right? A note on Miami. Their cold weather games, they don't have any this year. They're at Buffalo early. They're at the Jets early. They're at New England early. Just throw that out there. They've always had trouble in the cold. They don't have any this year of those divisional cold weather games on the road past early November.